Hello, I'm Ollie, and this is Criminally, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, horror. It's time for my monthly unboxing of the Abominable Book Club book subscription box. So this has become a regular feature on the channel since I started it. Every month I get this fantastic box from the Abominable Book Club and open it live on screen so that all of you lovely people out there can witness my reaction to it. So, if you don't know, Abominable are a company based out of Wales in the UK. They do this subscription box. There's two levels to it. So I get the what's called the full guts box, which has like snacks and badges and things like that, as well as the books. But there's also a bare bones edition that just has the books. You get 2 books a month usually, plus a mystery book, which is like a pre-owned book. They quite often have signed copies of books in there. I'll leave a link to their website in the description for the video, but I think it's a great subscription service. I really enjoy getting it every month. So I'm going to dive into it. I have no idea what the books are. I know there's one book that I hope is in here this month. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But that, well, I'm not even going to say actually. But there's a new release, which is kind of horror. It's not pure horror, which makes me think it might not be in here. But there's a new hardcover release, which I really want. So I'm hoping that's the book that's in here. It does feel heavy enough this month for there to be a hardcover in there, but it can be deceptive because that might just be the mystery book. So anyway, let me open it up and see what we got. So here we go. So here you can see, right, so the book that I was hoping, I can tell already, is not one of the books. So fair enough, that's fine. So let's have a look what we've got. We have got Ghost written by Ronald Malfi. So I've heard great things about Ronald Malfi, but I've never read one of his books. So that should be interesting. So this looks like it is 4 novellas. Yeah, so looking forward to that. As I say, I've not read his stuff. We also have this one, which looks a bit more thrillery. So this is You Can Stay by L. Connell. So I've never heard of L. Connell, but it looks like an interesting read. I do enjoy a thriller every so often. So we'll see what that's like. Right, in terms of snacks then, so we've got lemon drizzle melt. They sound very nice indeed, don't they? So I will look forward to chomping on those soon. We've got the normal box of bag of drinks, which I will open up. I'll sit down and open those up in a minute. We've got a very cool pin badge of the... Is it going to focus on that? The Bride of Frankenstein with a face mask on, so that's quite fun. And then we've got the mystery book as well. So I'm going to sit down now and open the mystery book and show you the drinks. Right, I'm back. Let me know if you thought that way of showing the books or doing the books worked better. We've also got a rather fantastic bookmark featuring Boris Karloff as the mummy. That's the back of it there. That's really cool. And a normal, just kind of standard Abominable bookmark too. Let me show you the drinks quickly. Russell. So you get a pretty standard set of drinks, but they are nice ones. So I've got a hot chocolate, a coffee bag, and these coffee bags aren't bad at all. A couple of herbal tea bags. So one is mint and chocolate, and one is nicely spicy. And then a cappuccino as well. The cappuccinos have become a guilty pleasure of mine. They're kind of cheap and horrible, but I do really like them with a bit of sugar added. So yeah, let me get into the mystery book and show you what that is. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Okay, I don't know anything about this, but it looks kind of interesting. The Killer Net by Matthew W. Grant. So it looks like an independently published book. But yeah, not one I've ever heard of, but it does look like it might be quite interesting. How would you track a serial killer over the internet in 1999? Okay, that sounds quite interesting. I quite like kind of throwback techie stuff. So it was published in 2014. Okay, I'm going to chuck that on the shelf and give that a read sometime. That looks quite interesting. So not I will say a fantastic set of books this month. It does vary sometimes, and it's all down to personal taste, isn't it? Often, I would say, I get books that I'm absolutely thrilled with. I'm very pleased to got some Ronald Malfi, because as I say, I've been meaning to read him. This looks interesting. It's not a book I would have bought by choice, if that makes sense, but it looks interesting. And I do quite enjoy a thriller every now and then. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of thriller, but you know, they're fun to read sometimes. So I'm sure I'll read all three of those at some point. But yeah, not the best box I've ever had for them, but still pretty decent. Okay, time for a random book from the shelf. So somebody mentioned this book in a comment the other day. And I thought, it reminded me of it, so I thought I would show it. So it's Spider by Patrick McGrath, which is kind of I guess you'd call it a psychological thriller. It's kind of a horror story, but it's very literary, about this young guy and his perception of terrible events that have happened in his family. So a really interesting book. I enjoyed it very much. I may well be doing a review of this at some point in the future on the channel, as part of my Carry On Screaming series where I talk about British horror novels. So yeah, Spider by Patrick McGrath from, what was it from? 1990. So quite an old one, but well worth checking out if you like that kind of psychological style of horror. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you're an Abominable subscriber yourself, let me know what your mystery book was this month in the comments. And if you've read any of the books I showed, do shout and let me know if they're any good. So yeah, looking forward to diving into those at some point. As I say, not a stellar box this month, but definitely a solid one. So yeah, I will enjoy all of those, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. And as always, hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're really good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.